Sup, Nerdmigos and the Jive Talking Nerd John Norcroft. We've got Wife here, and we're back at it again for another horror Jive. I almost forgot what this is called and what we were doing as I was saying it. So, off to a great start. So horror Jive for this spooky October of 2023 has been kind of quickie style review of all of the horror movies that we've watched over the course of between the last video and this video. Like, let's not pretend that these are coming out with regularity.
We tried to have a time frame on it, and
we failed immediately.
Instantaneous
failure.
Yeah.
The hardest F so hard, it's like H. Or like a G.
F so hard, you found that report card in the mail before your parents can get to it and got the same pen that your teacher had.
Going to
and then
American
turned that
school
F into an A.
What do you go into American school and Z is the last letter, but the teacher still gave you an omega just to prove how bad you did on this? Just confrontationally, that's how bad.
Yeah.
But in doing this, and one of the reasons why this is kind of like stealing our minds a little bit, is that every day is a themed day. So basically what we're doing is shout out, no association with, although what's up, we would be. Shout out to the Sci-Fi Channel. They have been playing a ton of Halloween movies. And we love horror movies and spooky movies and all that kind of energy. And so what we've kind of been doing is, like, whenever a movie comes on, like, that we're interested in watching in the morning on Halloween, you know, or on Sci-Fi Channel for this, like, Halloween season kind of movies that they're doing, we're using that as a jumping off point. And then sometimes they're just playing Bates Motel. And so our jumping off point is whatever the first thing is that we find on one of the myriad of streaming services.
Whatever catches our fancy.
So whatever. But so we're just going to like get into it, and we're going to kind of hammer through these. We're going to change it up a little bit from last time. Whatever. Don't worry.
Because there's an actual ton of movies.
I mean, yeah, the last one there was a ton also. This will probably inevitably become like just regular horror movie reviews as we peter out of this season, because there are actually like a lot of horror movies we want to watch that we've been like, today we found 4 things that we're like, this looks dope, but it's not fitting the jive for today. You know, the theme for the day. So, and if you want to see the day-to-day updates on these movies and what they are, follow me on social media. I'm posting them on Instagram in my stories, and that's where you're going to find the day-to-days, but you don't need to do the day-to-days if you're going to be checking these out. So just a heads up on that. So we're going to start off with the 13th of the month, which the theme for the day was caves, and it's because we started with The Cave.
Yeah.
Right? And then we watched The Descent, and then The Descent 2, and then C.H.U.D, which I had not seen in a very long time, and like is sort of caves.
Yeah.
And then Jerusalem, which is Jerusalem with like a Z, which is a great movie. And then As Above, So Below, my all-time favorite horror movie, As Above, So Below. So of those movies, what was your favorite out of those?
I know we talked about doing this, but how dare you force me to choose?
I know. It's immediately betrayed.
Because I love The Descent. And The Descent 2 is actually a pretty solid sequel.
It's not bad. It's not bad.
And I really love As Above, So Below. But I feel like Jerusalem has it for me.
It's like a secret. It's like a sneaky, like, great, right?
I am so into it, dude.
It's got like fucking good.
It's got all the things that I want.
Well, and it's
like nothing.
Maybe the best first-person movie.
Yeah, and nothing
found
against,
footage energy movie I have ever seen.
Yeah, nothing against As Above, So Below. I really love that movie, but Jerusalem just like slightly edges ahead.
Sure, totally.
Yeah.
It's definitely As Above, So Below for me. There's something about that movie that's just like profound for me. I love that movie, and it almost has, like, I don't even care about the beginning of the movie. Every time I watch that movie, I'm like, oh yeah, it has like a weird start. I never remember the beginning of the movie, but once they're like in the catacombs, I'm just like, this is my place. I love it. I love it so much. I love the twists. I love the like religious connections. Oh man, it's such a good fucking movie.
Yeah.
Such a good movie. Okay, so that was for the 13th. And then for the 14th, this was a suggestion, so we only watched one movie, and we watched Cronos.
Yes.
And this technically is a horror movie.
Yes.
And technically is a monster movie.
Yes.
But as per the suggester, shout out Alexa, you're the best. Is this a Christmas movie? What do you think about that?
I'm gonna say yes. I'm very like wide net as far as like Christmas movies. If Christmas is featured or if snow is featured, it's a Christmas movie.
Snow is featured. Wait a minute. Does that mean 30 Days of Night is a Christmas movie?
Yes.
It does technically take place during Christmas season also.
Yes.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
If there's Christmas or snow that is in the
thing a
movie
Christmas
at all.
movie?
Yeah. Cause snow.
That's fair. It doesn't take place during Christmas, though?
I mean, it
I actually
also,
don't know what time of year that movie takes place.
It's also a winter movie because snow.
Yes, I
Like,
I understand
right?
how
Yeah.
the Arctic Circle works.
Yeah. So, yes, also a Christmas movie.
Yeah. This is 100% a Christmas movie. It takes place during that, like, holiday season, the, like, snow season or whatever.
Yeah.
This was a great movie.
This was really weird.
Like, secretly a great movie. I had never seen it before, nor had I ever heard of it.
I thought I had seen it, but turns out I was thinking about something totally different because it was not this.
Come to find out it wasn't this movie. Also, Ron Perlman. And this movie's in two languages at the same time, and I love it.
Yeah.
It's so good how they switch between, like, Spanish and English.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow. Such a fun movie.
This was a pretty fantastic movie.
Such a fun movie. Great recommendation. And if you have a recommendation for a horror movie or a theme of horror movies, let us know. Reach out wherever reaching out occurs. So, everybody knows how to do this. I shouldn't have to explain this. You're all adults. So, after that, 10:15 was Camp Slashers.
Yes.
And we started with The Conference, and then we watched all of the Friday the 13th movies from the first one all the way through 7. I'm going to read all these names. You don't need to know these names.
Yeah.
It does not matter. But I just love it. Friday the 13th, then Friday the 13th Part 2.
Yeah.
Then Part 3. Then the final chapter. Then Part 5, A New Beginning. Part 6, Jason Lives. And Part 7, The New Blood.
Yeah.
Which,
obviously, we did not finish all of the Friday the 13th
512
movies.
Of them. I don't have
that's as
infinite
far as
time.
we were able to get in one day.
Yes.
Yeah.
And of these movies that I've just said, what's your favorite movie out of these?
Oh, see, this is really tough because Friday the 13th is like a dynasty, but these are not the Friday the 13th movies that I love the most, so I have to choose The Conference.
We actually gave The Conference the highest score, too.
Yeah? I don't remember.
Yeah,
so,
we gave The Conference 9 out of 10. I'm looking at these. The second highest score, by the way, was Friday the 13th, Part 6, Jason Lives.
And which one was the lowest score?
Lowest score was New Blood.
Oh, that's the Mind Powers one, I think.
Yeah. With the girl who's somehow vaguely related or some nonsense.
At the beginning of every movie, we were like, which Jason movie is this? And
at one point in time, I got it confused with a Halloween movie too. So that's
that was
fun.
great. Yeah.
Final chapter was also really low scored.
Yeah.
But definitely The Conference, and I love the Friday the 13th movies. Like, don't get it twisted.
I do too, but you know what? I don't love these Friday the 13th movies.
Well,
or maybe the thing is more that I love the idea behind the Friday the 13th. I love the idea, the concept of it.
Yeah.
And then when I actually watch it, I'm just like, oh no, this is not as good as I thought it was.
I feel like Friday the 13th movie, like all slasher movies, to me, is sort of like if you were to say, like, recommend me a slasher movie, I'm going to tell you watch like these 5 movies.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna enjoy it. Because I feel like slasher movies are beholden to the idea of a slasher movie. Right?
Yeah.
It's like watching like a 70s Italian video nasty, right? Which is like their slasher horror movies from like back in the DZ, right? Like, or like an English video nasty. If you just watch one video nasty, you're just going to be like, why did I watch this? What is this? And who's producing softcore porn in the 70s? What's happening right now?
Yeah.
But until you watch like 5 or 6 of them, then you realize like, oh shit, this isn't just a movie. There's this like whole cultural, like, competitive energy around all of them. Slasher movies have all these rules to them.
Yeah.
And you kind of play in these rules. They're very like throw popcorn at the screen, screaming, don't go in there kind of movies, I definitely think The Conference is the better of these camp slasher movies. It's a very, very well-made movie. That's also, to use camp again, very campy, but in like the right way. But it's also later on, so it's more self-aware. It has more backstory to be able to work off of. However, I have a headcanon that's more important than what these movies are good or not good about, which is that, and I want you to watch the Friday the 13th movies and just think about this. The Friday the 13th sound, they're like, shh, shh, shh. Okay, he's making those noises. This is my headcanon.
Whenever you hear it in the movie, it's actually Jason.
Everybody can hear it, but it's not. See,
or
you
the
hear
mom.
You hear it, yeah, in the first one.
Making that sound.
Like, I understand that as the audience, we're hearing it at like a balanced audio level, but like if you're listening to this podcast, everything sounds perfectly recorded. You're not hearing my laptop currently trying to achieve faster than light travel with its fan, the tips of the fans bursting the sound barrier every rotation because it's trying to cool itself down, right? You can't hear all of the background noise because of sound engineering. I'm not good at this, by the way, but like sound engineering, right? But like, so like we're hearing it louder, but in my mind, he is quietly emitting this noise. This is the way he talks. They're like, why are you doing this to me? And he's like, shh, shh, shh. Real quiet like.
Well, it's his like murderer thing.
Well, it's just like his murmur.
It's part of his like murder sona.
Yeah, it is his equivalent of like clowns laughing when they're like murder clowns.
Yeah.
I just watch the movies with the energy that he is emitting that noise, and technically everybody in the movie can hear that noise, but it's just like background noise. Like if your pipe made a sound in your house, you're not going to immediately be like, the slasher is coming for me. You're just going to be like, all right, there's a sound. It's like a bird making a noise.
Yeah,
You're not thinking of like a scary, spooky thing. There's just a noise. Watch the movies with that energy. Honestly, it takes them up a notch. Just putting this out there. So, whatever. That's Camp Slashers. So after that was 10/16, 16th of this month. We watched, I just have it written down as 10/16, so that's why I'm saying it that way. We did Haunted Houses, where we started with Amityville The Awakening, and then Malevolent, and then The Binding.
Wait,
and then
Malevolent, what year Malevolent?
2018 Malevolent.
Yeah.
And then The Binding, and then I Am the Pretty Thing That Lives in the House.
Yeah.
So, of those, favorite.
Ooh, boy.
Don't try and read those scores. Don't try.
No,
and guess what those scores are.
I'm trying to remember what they all were.
That's fair. So it's Amityville, The Awakening, whichever one that one is. And then Malevolent, new, The Binding, and I'm the Pretty Thing That Lives in the House.
I think that my favorite one was Malevolent.
I would argue that I also like the Malevolent the most, but we gave the highest score to The Binding.
Yeah, that was
which was really good. But yeah, this was fun, like spooky haunted house.
Yeah,
kind of energy. And then the next day after that, oh my god, no, there's still more movies in this category.
Yeah, we watched way more than
I'm sorry.
that day.
There's also The Banishing, Caveat, and Hell House LLC, and then Oracle.
Yeah, that's right.
The Banishing is good.
The Banishing was really good.
I thought I spelled Banishing wrong. The Banishing is good. Hell House LLC is fun.
Yeah. We've seen it a million times, and it was like getting to the end of the day.
And we were just like, put something
And we were just like, I don't know what else. And it was either this or like the Liam Neeson, Catherine Zeta-Jones, The Haunting movie.
Yeah. We're also trying to bounce around in streaming services on these so that way like anybody can watch some of these or what have you. Yeah. Okay, so after that, we did 10/17, the 17th of the month, was Spooky Woodland Cabin. Yeah. Which is like a very specific genre, and we weren't intentionally trying to make it that specific, but it just kind of worked out that way. Yeah. So we started the day with Cabin Fever. Yeah. Right? And then Cabin in the Woods. Yeah. And then Tucker and Dale vs. Evil, and then Dog Soldiers. Yeah. And obviously, Cabin in the Woods.
Yes.
Obviously.
And with Tucker and Dale very close behind.
Right behind it. Right behind. Like it's breathing on its neck a little inappropriately. It's so good.
Yes.
Tucker and Dale vs. Evil is a great movie.
Yeah.
Right? But Cabin in the Woods is like...
just ever so slightly
perfect.
better. Yeah.
Right? It's a perfect movie.
Yeah.
Also, I know that we're clearly not reaching out to whoever is in charge of whatever the hell's going on in Hollywood, but if somebody knows somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody, maybe do more Cabin in the Woods movies. Not a remake. My gods. Not a remake. Just do more in that universe. I was able to fan write like 2 extra movies in that universe that would slay and bring the exact same energy.
Yeah.
So get that shit done, guys. But so that was Spooky Woodland Cabins.
Yeah.
Great theme.
Yeah.
Great theme. So then after that, on the 18th, we did Wicked Workplaces.
Yes.
I'm also having a great ton of fun naming these days.
Sometimes I don't know what the theme name is for like most of the day.
That's fair.
We've chosen the theme and we're like talking about it in a specific way.
But we're still narrowing it down because sometimes we're like, we want to watch this, and it's like not available or doesn't exist, or today is a great example, otherwisely difficult to fit into. Because we started the day with a plan and we ended the day with a very different plan.
Yeah, yeah.
But okay, so Wicked Workplace, we started with Flatliners.
Yeah.
And then Deliver Us from Evil.
The new Flatliners, the remake.
Oh, yeah, the remake of Flatliners. Then Deliver Us from Evil. Then Living in Bondage, Breaking Free. Then Cooties. Then Mirrors.
Yeah.
So, of those, favorite?
Living in Bondage, Breaking Free. That was such a good movie.
It was amazing.
That was also the kind of devil that you would be.
Yeah, again, he was just like a evil witch? He technically wasn't the devil.
No, they kind of hinted that he was the devil at the very
kind
end.
of.
And
that's fair.
If you don't know what we're talking about, you should check out our Horn and Cauldron podcast pub chat episode where we talk about what creature we would most identify with.
Yeah, that's a fun one. But yeah, that's a Living in Bondage, Breaking Free. That's a Nollywood movie, isn't it? Yeah. So that's absolutely fantastic. If you have not experienced Nollywood yet, do yourself a favor. Every one that we've watched has been an absolute fucking banger. Okay, to that. Lowest rated movie, the new Flatliners.
It was awful.
It's conceptually not bad.
No.
But in practice, it's dumb.
It's really
like
bad.
A dumb movie, and it should feel bad for what it does and the decisions it makes in that movie. However, of all of these movies, I have to talk about Mirrors. That was the one that we watched at the end of the night, and Mirrors is a good movie right up until the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Because the end of the movie, I am going to spoil the end of this movie. It does not matter. And then I'm going to explain to you why the end of this movie literally does not matter. If you stopped this movie before the final fight, it's a good movie. It's like an 8 out of 10 movie, dude. It's a very good mystery about demons that can work within reflective surfaces, and they do such a good job. Oh my goodness, you start being afraid of everything reflective. You're just like, what do you paint the mirrors? Look at that doorknob shiny. What are you doing? Like, you are fucking in. They set up this demon fantastically. They set up the drama fantastically. Everything is great. And this fucking movie ends after the final fight. Like, the end of the final fight is like underground and he's trying to escape or whatever, and like a bunch of rubble falls down. And of course, rubble falling on a dude in a movie. Maybe he's smush, maybe he's safe. Who cares, right? The movie ends with him crawling out of the rubble, and he walks out of the building, and everything's kind of like weirdly muffled sound, like maybe he has damage to his ears or something like that. And he starts noticing that like the word police on the police car is written backwards, and like whatever the words on the ambulance are written backwards. And he realizes that he's trapped in the mirrors now.
Yeah.
Except that doesn't make any sense. This demon isn't a mirror demon. It's just a fucking demon. The only reason why it's trapped in the mirrors is because a doctor who was bad at doctoring trapped a little girl with schizophrenia that was actually possessed by demons in a room full of mirrors and forced the demon out of her into the mirrors, which is the whole point of the movie, is uncovering who this little girl was, that she was still alive, and then figuring out that the demon who only has reflective surface powers because he's trapped in them, all right, wants to break free. And he breaks free by blowing up all of the nearby mirrors. So how did this guy get trapped in the mirror? He wasn't looking at a mirror when it happened. He was literally around the corner when it happened. Then he fought the demon. Maybe still reflection surface style? We're unsure because the end, he's in mirrors. But how did he get in a mirror when there are no mirrors nearby? Was it just that the water was reflective enough for him to get trapped in it? And if so, why would the demon have done that after he died? It makes no sense. The end of this movie is so stupid. Dude, I got done watching this movie and I was like genuinely pissed off. I was just like, why is he in mirrors now? What is this? Also, just because he's trapped in mirrors, he can go see his fucking family still. But he's like standing there like, no, I got trapped in the mirrors. But like the demon was able to do perfectly fine shit in the mirrors.
Yeah.
Right? Oh my goodness. Such a good movie right up until the end. Whatever. Soapbox away. It was just, the end of that movie fucking infuriated me beyond belief. Okay, next day, so these are like single day ones. Yeah. So then the 19th we watched The Mist.
Yeah.
Right? Good movie, everybody's seen it. Another dumb ending.
Yeah.
Then the 20th we watched High School of the Dead, which is an anime. Good anime. This is like one of my favorite horror animes.
Yeah.
And definitely one of my favorite zombie animes. It's a fantastic anime that balances like fantastical action sequences with like just the right amount of ecchi, but like not too much ecchi.
Yeah.
You know? It's not like super overkill.
Yeah.
And it's got like great character story writing in it. Mm-hmm. Then that was the 20th, and then the 21st we watched The Cloverfield Paradox, which I love this movie. This movie, like, unifies the Cloverfield universe in my mind in a fantastical way, grounds it into science, but also is very, like, Lovecraftian in the way that the haunts are happening. Because it's not just like, the ship is evil. It's like, the like existence itself is like repelling these motherfuckers, and it's torturing them in like almost Event Horizon levels. You know what I'm saying? But like less demon kind of energy or whatever. But so I really super love Cloverfield Paradox. And then after that, so yesterday was the last day we're going to talk about. Was a family frights day. We decided to watch like the family friendly ones. And we watched I Woke Up a Vampire, which is like a mini series. It was like an 8-episode series. And then 1995's Casper.
Yep.
And then 2015's Goosebumps The Move.
Yep.
And then Igor, which...
That was weird.
Is a weird movie that's animated to look like it's claymation starring John Cusack.
And it's, like, very much kind of, like, ripping off the Tim Burton, like, stop motion.
Yeah, it's like Tim Burton energy.
The mayor
adjacent.
is, like, just enough legally distinct from the mayor.
He's a king. That's the legal distinction. The only legal distinction is that he's a king in this,
otherwise,
and not the mayor.
He looks exactly like the mayor of Halloween Town.
So crazy.
So I cannot get past it.
And it's, like, it's animated, and, like, silly and campy and, like, PG or whatever. But... a lot of the jokes would be kind of inappropriate for kids.
Yeah, there's some weird where
like
we were
very
like,
adult.
oh.
We're like, who is this for?
Yeah,
like it's for adults, but like, why?
Yeah,
it's a weird movie. And then we watched The Curse of Bridge Hollow, which is a great one, the newer one. And then we ended the night with Wallace and Gromit: The Curse of the Were-Rabbit. Yeah, and every time we watch a Wallace and Gromit. Right, like the seasonal Wallace and Gromits you watch. I forget how much I love Wallace and Gromit. How good it is. They're all so fantastic. And they're not just like good stories. Every tiny detail has so much care put in it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. That said, my favorite of all of these that we watched is definitely Curse of Bridge Hollow.
It's good.
I will take more of those, please.
Well, and they set it up for one for every holiday.
They really do. And even ones that aren't necessarily holidays. Like, they're setting it up for a lot of stuff.
Yeah, oh my god, dude. You could easily do 4th of July.
Yeah.
Spooky. You could easily do Christmas. You could easily
Fourth of July is like revolutionaries.
Yeah.
Like dead revolutionaries come
it's
back
a
to life.
Cursed Roman candle or some shit.
Yeah, or whatever it is.
Know?
I love that movie so much. Also,
so well done.
I love it because Kelly Rowland is in it, and she's also in Freddy vs. Jason. And that's every time she's in that, I'm just like, you're not even scary.
Yeah. For me, it's definitely Goosebumps. Mm-hmm. But I'm also, like, I grew up reading the books.
Yeah.
I loved the show. And it's starring Jack Black, who I love dearly.
Yeah.
Everything he touches is, like, solid gold. It's so good. So much fun. And it's, like, it's one of those wholesome family ones that, like, doesn't shy away from being, like kind of a bit crazy at times, you know? That being said, Curse of Bridge Hollow is also a perfect movie.
Yeah.
So good. So action-packed. The next door neighbor is hilarious. I love him
Everybody
as an
is
actor.
hilarious.
The principal who's like, he's not a Satanist. He just collects things of an occult nature.
The mayor.
She's
just fantastic.
Her accent getting increasingly unintelligible throughout the thing is so good.
Yeah.
Oh, man. What a fantastic movie.
Yeah.
Absolutely. What a great day. And that kind of wraps up this, like, last week of reviews.
Yeah.
As it were. This has been a ton of fun.
Yeah.
Doing these days with themes. Some days more difficult to figure out what we're going to watch next than not.
But it does force us to watch both things that we have not seen and also things that we have seen. One of the things that we sort of like fall into the trap of during spooky season is that we always watch, like, either we always watch the same things, we have some movies that we come back to over and over again, or we're always watching stuff that, like, we haven't seen.
Yeah.
Because we want to consume all the things. But this gives us like a really healthy kind of dose and also forces us to watch things that we've seen before but aren't necessarily on our like, oh, every October we have to watch this.
We've watched a lot of 2 and 3 out of 10s. 0 out of 10 this year.
Well, I'm just talking about repeats.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's fair. But, like, I mean, this has caused us to kind of venture into places that we are like, definitely some of these we would have never watched if it weren't for the fact that the theme was pushing us in that direction. And some of these are movies that it's like, we've seen it before, but, like, whatever.
Like, why would we have watched the Dracula 2000 trilogy?
Yeah.
You know?
You watched Dracula 2000, and then you never watched 2 and 3.
Yeah, that's it. You're done.
Right? Because Dracula 2000, good movie. 2 and 3, bold strategy, Cotton.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's been fun, and it's made the interaction with the horror genre a little bit more dynamic and interesting. I highly recommend giving this a try. Is to have a theme for the movies you're going to watch for the day, and the theme can evolve across the day, but it still has to connect back to all of the previous movies that you watched, which kind of gets you in this place of really like analyzing things and like taking risks.
Yeah.
With regard to things,
Being creative.
Totally. So definitely check out all of these movies. They're everywhere all the time or whatever. And we will catch you guys next week for more spooky movie review wrap-ups and stuff like that. If you have any suggestions of movies or themes, comment below with those. Or if you don't watch horror movies, what do you want us to watch during the Christmas season? You can still comment with that. If you got this far and you're not into scary movies, that's totally okay.
Yeah.
What's your favorite horror movie of all time, since we mentioned mine, which is As Above, So Below. And if you haven't seen it, go watch it. Unless you're not into horror movies, then don't watch it. I recommend against. If you don't do scary movies, don't watch that movie. It might not seem it, but it is a very dark movie. But yeah. I don't know anything else to say. Don't forget to like this video, comment below, share, subscribe, ring the bell, bop it, twist it, smack it, drop it like it's hot, do all that stuff. And we will catch you guys next time for more horror jive. Almost forgot the name of the thing that I was doing again. I have been John Norgrove. This has been Wife. This has been Horror Jive, like I literally just said. We will catch you guys next time for more scares and frights and such.